Imagine the silence of the deep night. You've almost drifted off to sleep when suddenly, a sharp crash, the sound of a falling glass, the ring of ceramic against the floor, and the noise of something rolling under the sofa. You flip on the light, heart pounding, thoughts of a ruined morning racing through your mind. And there sits your cat. He is sitting next to the shards, eyes wide open, calm, composed, and seemingly even a bit surprised by your intense reaction. In that moment, many of us feel a familiar sensation, a mix of rage and bewilderment. We are almost certain. You did that on purpose. You wanted to spite me because I forgot to feed you on time. This feeling of frustration toward a pet is familiar to millions of owners worldwide. We tend to attribute human motives to animals. We think the cat is seeking revenge, that she is offended, or even trying to train us through destructive behavior. But what if I told you that in that very moment when the cat nudges an object off the table, he isn't committing an act of aggression? He is practicing pure, unadulterated science. Today, we will dive into the psychology of this strange behavior, debunk popular myths, look into the neurobiology of curiosity, and understand why your home is not just an interior to a cat, but a massive interactive laboratory. Let's figure out what is actually going on inside the head of your little scientist. To start, let's immediately debunk the biggest myth, the myth of feline revenge. Anthropomorphism, attributing human personality traits to animals, is our greatest enemy in understanding pet psychology. A large-scale study published in the Cognitive Ethology Review proves that cats lack a guilt complex or the capacity for long-term revenge planning. These are complex social constructs requiring a high level of abstract thinking and an understanding of moral norms, which are characteristic of social primates but not felines. When a cat knocks an object over, she isn't thinking, the human didn't give me a treat. Now he'll pay with his laptop. When we interpret this as revenge, we are making a projection error. We see the world through the prism of social contracts, while a cat sees the world through the prism of cause and effect. If an object falls, it's an event. If the human comes after the fall, it's a consequence. In a cat's mind, these two events might be linked not by an emotion of retribution, but by a mechanism of effective interaction with the environment. Let's agree. Cats are opportunists. They always look for the most efficient way to get a result. If the result is simply the movement of an object, it's a game. If the result is your attention, it's manipulation. Not in a malicious sense, but in an adaptive one. Now let's dig deeper into the neurobiology of curiosity and proprioception. A cat's paws are not just limbs for walking. They are among the most highly sensitive sensory organs in the animal kingdom. In the article Neuroscience of Feline Behavior, experts point out that a cat's paw is filled with complex mechanoreceptors that transmit information to the cat's somatosensory cortex at lightning speed. When a cat places a paw on an object at the edge of a table, she isn't just feeling its surface. She feels vibration, stability, and changes in pressure. To a cat, a table is a plane. An object on the table is an irregularity, an anomaly. A study in the International Journal of Animal Senses suggests that domestic cats possess what scientists call sensory hunger. In an apartment where food is always in a bowl and there's no need to hunt, a cat experiences a lack of stimuli. By pushing an object, a cat creates a change in her environment. This is a proprioceptive test. They are checking how objects interact with space. They map their territory not just with their eyes, but through physical impact. To understand a cat, you have to stop looking at her as a couch decoration and see her as a miniature version of a predator. In the wild, the ancestors of domestic cats, Felis libica, the African wildcat, had to survive by hunting small prey, lizards, rodents, insects. Imagine the situation. You see something hidden in the grass. You aren't sure if it's alive or not. What do? You cautiously touch it with your paw. If it twitches, it's prey. You need to attack. If it remains still, perhaps it's debris. This behavior is called prey testing. Now, transfer this to your table. A pen, a glass, keys, to the ancient brain of a cat, all of these are potential objects that could be prey. When a cat pushes a pen, she is unconsciously performing this ancient ritual. Does it move? Will it try to run away? Research in the Evolutionary Psychology Journal shows that even in cats that have never been outside, this instinct remains hardwired into the genetic code. It's not a choice the cat makes. It's an automatic response, like our breathing or blinking. Therefore, when your cat pushes an object, he isn't trying to break it. He is trying to see if there is life in that object. And when the object falls and crashes, it's a signal. Aha, it reacted. This is fascinating. But there is another reason, and it is perhaps the most important one for us, the owners. It is operant conditioning. Think about how you react when the cat knocks something over. You jump up from the sofa. You shout, "No." You run to the cat to save the object. You pick him up or put him out of the room. From the cat's perspective, the following happened. The cat pushed an object, a loud event occurred, and the human, the most important source of resources for the cat, instantly came running. For a cat, this is an ideal scheme for getting attention. The Behavioral Processes Journal describes an experiment where scientists proved that cats quickly understand the cause and effect relationship between a destructive action and a surge of owner attention. Even negative attention, you're shouting or running around, is attention. And for a domestic cat bored within 4 walls, that is better than a total lack of attention. Thus, we ourselves reinforce this behavior. We have created a human call button for them. If the cat is bored, she goes to the table, finds something to drop, and voila, you are there. This isn't spitefulness. It is effective communication. What should we, the owners, do to keep our belongings intact? The secret is not in punishment. Punishment only increases levels of stress and fear, destroying the trust between you and your pet. We must work on environmental enrichment. If a cat is knocking things over due to boredom and sensory hunger, we need to provide other stimuli. Offer her interactive toys that can be pounced on and dropped without harming your interior. Use food puzzles. If a cat has to extract a treat from a maze, her hunting instinct will be satisfied, and she won't need to test your water glass. Spend 10 to 15 minutes a day playing with a wand toy. This is a simulation of the hunt. If the cat expends energy in play, she won't want to hunt your keys on the table. And finally, practice strategic ignoring. If an object falls, don't run to the cat. Pick up the object calmly, without emotion, without looking at the pet. If the cat realizes this trick no longer triggers a vivid human reaction, the point of repeating it vanishes. Dear owners, every time your cat pushes something off the table, look at it not as an act of aggression, but as a call. This is a tiny predator, confined within 4 walls, trying to interact with the world and with you. It is a sign of intelligence, curiosity, and a need for connection. Instead of getting angry, smile. Your cat is not a vandal. He is simply an explorer, and your job is to ensure his explorations are safe and interesting for you both. And remember, if your pet's behavior has changed abruptly, or if he has become overly clingy or anxious, always consult a veterinary specialist to rule out medical causes. Love your animals, for they are the best teachers of patience and love. See you in the next video.